My man.
What's up, bro? Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yes, sir, man. Listen,
time.
bro. Hey, man, look, I appreciate you, man.
Hey, man.
I appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule to come chop it up with me here at the turnaround.
Hey, man. You're homie. We grew up together, man.
Yes, sir.
It's like, hey, it was easy.
Yeah.
It was easy.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, so listen, we got all our guests are special. So this man I'm about to introduce, for those who don't know, is a brother to me, just as well as a neighbor. And we go back, like convertibles. So, put it like that.
Yeah,
had a little fun with it. It's been a long time, but we ran into each other, after years had gotten in between us. At the post office, and and now we right here, So my man Stephen Williams, Durham native, Bull City native, from the Walltown community where we grew up together.
No doubt.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, man, I appreciate you being here.
Man, thank you. I appreciate you, man.
So,
Definitely.
For those who don't know, bruh, just introduce yourself to those who don't know.
Well, let me just first appreciate you for bringing me on the show. Steve Williams, Bull City, born and raised in Walltown. I mean, it is. Went to Hillside, class of '92. Shout out to class of '92.
Yeah.
So, I just, man, it's just Durham, man. It's just Durham, man. This show and what we're gonna talk about tonight is epic, and just to let people know, Squirt learned all his moves from me. Yeah, so I'm gonna put that out there before we start going. But no, seriously, he perfected the game. I know he liked to throw out the 252, but the 919 raised him. So
right.
So
that's right.
On that court.
That's right.
But no, seriously, he basically, man, deserves it. So I'm gonna give you your flowers because you took it to another level. And
appreciate that.
We followed your career. We knew you overseas playing ball.
That's what's up.
And Walltown respected that.
That's
and
what's up.
Definitely, next community event we have, need to be there at Walltown Recreation Center. So yeah,
love to be there.
Yeah, but it's a full circle, man.
Right.
It's full circle.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a full circle.
Exactly.
So I'm excited to get this thing going, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to have you here, man. It's we didn't know it at the time, but it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
It's a long time coming.
No doubt. I mean?
So let me ask you this. Let's talk about the origins, the beginning.
Wow. Okay.
So we're gonna go back to Walltown. We're gonna go back to the early '80s.
Wow. Okay.
So
man, '80s, we had a ball. We had a ball. It was rough.
Right.
But I always like to say we found some sense of peace in our chaos.
Right.
And I live with that. We were raised hard, man.
Yeah.
And that's Walltown's just a blue collar neighborhood. And I didn't quite know the history at the time, but George Wall is my first cousin.
Okay.
And that's my grandmother's uncle.
All right.
And my grandmother's still living, 92.
That's what's
up. Hey, Grandma. And that's the name. That's why the family moved there from Chatham County. But other than that, just growing up, man, it's just Mom had 3 jobs. If you didn't work at the factory, where the Liggett of American, you either worked at Duke or you worked at IBM.
Right.
But if you were fortunate. But for the most part, man, it was just more or less like just, we had no parental anything. It was like my mom was like, when she was in, she was out.
Right.
So it's kind of like my older brother and myself. And we were really only 2 years apart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shout out to Derek, man.
Yeah. Man, shout out whoever you need to or want to, man.
Yeah, definitely. But
Derek, what up? It's been a long time, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't easy, man.
Listen, man, when we back then in the park, Walltown Park, you guys was older. And I remember playing basketball down in the park down in Walltown.
Yeah.
That's that for me, that's what basketball was the beginning. Walltown.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So but growing up as a little boy in Walltown, I did not know the history of Walltown. Right? Until coming across you. And then some material that I came across, the historic Durham, you know what I'm saying? Because we from the home of the Haiti.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
And geographically speaking, like North Carolina, as far as Durham goes, we sit right slap dead in the middle, in the heart of North Carolina. You know what I mean? And to me, it means something. And, playing in the TRBL, Tobacco Road Basketball League, I said that I always felt like if you want that championship, then you got to come through the heart of North Carolina, which is the Bull City. That's how I felt. That's why it meant something to me to play. But being that, Durham is right here, and like I said, we're in the middle of North Carolina. You broke down some historical facts that I had no ideas about. A Walltown.
Right.
St. Aug graduate, correct?
Yeah.
St. Aug graduate.
Shout out to St. Aug.
Yes, sir. Majored in international business, right? So, like I said, as a kid growing up in Walltown, I didn't know it was history. Right. So, for others who might not understand the history of Walltown, break it down for us.
Man, look, let me just tell you this. Walltown was just like any other kind of city. It's like one of the oldest neighborhoods in Durham. Yeah. And, because, Durham has many hoods. You know, Bradtown, Few Gardens, West End, Mac, UV. I can keep going and on, Bluefield. Yeah, I can keep it going. And, let me get Hickstown. I can't forget Hickstown. But Durham had a lot of hoods, man. Right. And in every community you have just a blue collar community. Right. Majority of everybody that lived in Walltown worked at either Liggett or American Tobacco. My mom worked at American 18 years. She was one of the last ones that shut it down. Okay. And they moved those people out to Reedsville. Right. I didn't know that. I remember when downtown Durham used to smell like tobacco. Yeah. My mom used to bring home a carton of Pale Males like every day. And man, I don't know why we tried them. Boy, that thing blew our chest open. That was it. So I never smoked a cigarette after that. But man, it was people were raising their kids off those jobs, man, manufacturing jobs. I mean, and you're talking about people that did not have college education. They only simply had high school diplomas. Some of them just had GEDs. Right. And they were making great money, sending their kids to school, buying their kids cars, all that stuff, man. So it was a lot of things going on, but behind that, there was a lot of there was a lot of things going on that was just not unsavory, especially for a kid to be around. Yeah, because and some of it's like I do remember it was certain liquor houses in the neighborhoods. It's about 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? And I do remember seeing stuff a child wasn't supposed to see, but back then
didn't really know what it was.
Right.
And then soon later in life, you know what it's about.
You know
what I'm
it's about,
saying?
right.
So, but Walltown is a historic community.
Right.
Durham, North Carolina is a historic state.
City. No doubt.
Rich.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And,
Rich
in
in
history.
right.
13 colonies. We played church league basketball together before either one of us, competed in the school system.
Yeah, St. John's.
Right, St. John's Baptist, right down Onslow Street.
Right.
You high school track and field athlete, football player.
Yeah. I dabbled in basketball. I'd say dabble. I played basketball, man, just to not run indoor track. That was my protest to Coach Blunt.
you know what? From jogging my memory, I do remember when you ran track.
Yeah. I did. Basically, track was my thing, man.
Track
because I started off Durham Stratas. Shout out to Durham Stratas when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And it was because my mom wanted to get me out of the house.
Right.
I was doing too much.
Okay.
And she had to burn some of that energy off.
Yeah.
So she took me out to Durham Stratas, but at 5, you running against 6 or 7-year-olds. So they were like, well, if he's gonna run, that's when Durham Stratas used to have the trials at Shepherd Middle School. And yeah. So you go down there. Yeah, exactly. So you go down there, drop a kid off, see if they,
see what
they can do.
That's right.
And hey, I went out there and did my thing. My mama told me before she dropped me off, she said, "Don't lose."
Yeah.
And brother was like, "He got this."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. From there, that was me. It was on from that point.
Yeah.
Football, I only played because I wanted to be better than my brother. It was more. There was a competition with me and him. Right. It was more or less like he was a football, basketball, and baseball player. And I was a football, basketball, and track.
Okay.
So I'm sitting here like, yeah, okay. It was a competition thing with me and him. Like, serious.
Right.
Still to this day.
That's what's up.
But it's funny, though, man, because now that I look back on it, it's so many things that we could have done together if we weren't competing the way we were competing against each other. And that just... and we talked about it, we laughed about it, but it's true. It was just like we were just highly competitive.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. But that's Walltown made us that way, though.
Right. Yeah.
Because you remember it wasn't no fouls at Walltown Park. It was like you got fouled, you ain't no blood.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you good.
Right.
That's no foul.
Right.
Keep balling. Broken bone? No. All right. Well, no foul. So that's what it was.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Man, I remember coming to the park, man, and y'all, y'all dudes is out there, balling and hooping
all day long.
And like I said, we was playing for the church league. Y'all was putting in work.
Yeah,
because y'all was in the older league. And we was behind you guys. You know what I'm saying? So so we was watching.
Yeah, we were. Basically, man, we just transitioned from what we were doing on the court. I mean, we ball every day.
Right.
And to me, it was exercise.
Right.
Did my thing. I wasn't great standout, anything like that in basketball. But for me, it was just more like I was just fast. It was like, hey, a fast break, that speed is everything.
Speed.
That first step is a monster.
Right.
So, but other than that, it was just more or less like just trying to be, just trying to stay active, man, and trying to. I think we were all just looking for something because, be honest, we were all raised without, fathers. You were the only one of the few that had a father. And we looked at that, man. It's like, but everybody else, they had no fathers, man.
Yeah. That's the thing in our community. Fathers be absent from the household, and a lot of us by design.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The trickery and the traps that's laid out here, the man manipulated, hardships that's designed, that's aimed at, the lion. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we live in life on life terms. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So we live in life on life terms, man. And I done learned through the years at my young age. Right now, 47. Young age of 47 is I just take the good along with the bad, and I'm happy, bro. I wake up breathing.
Right.
I'm superb.
Right.
So
right. And that's how you're supposed to be. Right.
it's
bro?
cause we come a long ways.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? We come a long ways.
No doubt.
Now, so how did you get into international business?
Ah, man, look, I would say that's by default, literally. I was in college, man, and I didn't know that when I got my scholarship at St. All that track started 2 weeks before school and it ended 2 weeks after school was out. So when I came, I was training.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, class. It's kind of like, and my major was CIS.
Okay.
I'm like, that's what it started off in. And
CIS?
Yeah, computer information systems.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I was going, and I'm going to class. I'm working. I'm in, on the campus, going to Cheshire. I'm going to the lab. Dr. Shempy, shout out Dr. Shempy.
That's what's up.
Basically, he was like, yeah, we got to do this program. He put the program up, so we got to go out and do it. Turn it in. The next morning we have to send it to him email.
Okay.
So, man, I wasn't leaving that lab till like 3 in the morning. But okay, you got track practice at 8 because we got to go stretch, do all this other stuff. We got things, work out. We had to hit the gym. So I got to get home. I made back to the room. I got to go lay it down. Yeah. Then I got to get up, hit the weight room.
Right.
Then go to my, early morning classes, all this stuff. So, all that stuff was running together, man.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I was like,
student athlete.
Yeah, student athlete. Serious up. And Coach Williams, he made you, he realized that. Shout out to Pup on that. And he really took care of me, man. But he was like, look, you're here for a reason.
Yeah.
He said, you just ain't here to run. He said, you're here to go to class. So make sure that you handling your business first, and then you handle the business out here. So I had to make a decision, man. I told Dr. Shempy, I said, look, man, I love CIS, but I can't be in this computer lab 3 o'clock in the morning, man. I got to lay it down.
Right.
He's like, oh, you're so good. I'm like, yeah, but guess what? It ain't showing up on that track. I'm burning the candle at both ends, and something ain't working right.
Right. Yeah.
So, needless to say, man, Dr. Manuel Risi Jaffa, he's a St. Aug grad. He came back. He brought the actual international business curriculum to the school.
Okay.
Shout out to Dr. O. He's a political science chair now at Central.
Okay.
And so he brought it in. He did a presentation about it. And, we were at the forum, and I fell in love with it, man. And I'm like, look, what do I need to do? I got all these credits.
Right.
What can any transfer? Dude, when he told me, he said, look, 2 of your credits can transfer. I was like, what? I mean, literally, this is my junior year.
And how many you say you need to transfer?
No.
You say just 2 of them you could transfer.
Two. It's 2 of my courses that I could transfer. It was like total 6 credit hours.
Okay.
But I'm like 50-something credit hours, and it was like I'm sitting back like, so summer school. I had to take some of them in summer school at St. Aug, and then I had to make up. So I had to. Anyway, it extended my stay like 1.5 years.
Okay.
So I was like, look, whatever I got to do, I got to do.
Right.
So I ended up doing it, man, and I loved it. I fell in love with it more and more because it was just letting me know about world news.
Right. Okay.
Getting me focused about business, international.
World news.
World news, man, thinking about things and just understanding how everything happened outside the U.S.
Right.
Trade, commerce,
right,
all that stuff, supply chains, logistics. Man, I'm telling you, I knew so many, I learned so much.
Right, I bet you did.
And then it was kind of like my first job I got out of college.
Right.
Nortel Networks, man.
That's
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was, and I mean, I cherish all that, man. To having that wherewithal, that moment of clarity to say, Steve, this is where you need to be uncomfortable.
Right.
So that was for me. That was my first uncomfortable moment when I decided to, I got all these credits for CIS, but
Yeah.
I got to go to something that's gonna help me be productive.
Yeah.
Not only in society, right now,
Right.
but also I got to be able to do this track thing because that's what I'm here for.
Right. Yeah. But I you was focused and you was goal oriented and you was there to conquer, your goals, and springboard to where you need to be. And the life of a student athlete isn't for everybody.
No.
You mentally we just can't be frivolous.
No.
A lot of people can't balance the academics,
Right.
studying along with the physicality,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, that come along with playing sport on the college level.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it's some of us make it look easy.
Yeah. It's not. It is nowhere means by easy because the focus that it takes, the will.
Right.
And that means even when you having personal things going, like, I had a lot of personal things going back on in their home.
Right.
When I was in school, especially with my mom.
Yeah.
And, shout out to my mom.
That's what's up.
And it's just, it took a toll on me, man.
Yeah.
And it just, I thank God for my angels that were at St. All
right.
my ladies in financial aid who kept me close. They were my mom.
That's what's up.
And definitely Coach Williams was my father figure, kept me straight. But man, it was times, man, I just wanted to call it and just come home. And I'm telling you, man, Durham is that community, man. It was like, because I know dudes that were that was in these streets, and they saw me when I went off to college, and they used to come up to Raleigh a lot, go to either Plum Crazy, and they used to see me out, yeah. And they was like, yeah, because they used to call me Lil Williams. What's up, Lil Williams? And I say, what's up? And they were like, man, keep doing your thing.
Right.
And then one day when I saw them, I think I saw them at, I think they were at the mall. Yeah, we were at Crabtree. He was, talking. I was like, man, I'm about to come home. It's like, nah, dude, you need to come home. So you got out. You need to keep doing the school thing and make it work out. And I'm like, real? I'm like, yeah. And it was like, it was hard, man, because I was making it hard in my mind, but it was like stress. It was like having to, you basically poor. You student. That's don't get it twisted. There was no NILs back when we were in school, and especially not for. If there was, it would probably been far and few for track.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was tough, man, and it was tough not to come home, and Durham seemed so far away, but it was right around the corner. But I wouldn't venture down the street. And my grandma, shout out to Lovey,
that's what's up.
And she kept me. She basically sent me a care package every week, to school. But she kept me there because she knew I was going through some things mentally, and she wanted to keep me away from Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because our city, I say this, our city don't show no pity.
No.
It's real everywhere, but Durham definitely is a war zone.
Yeah.
We was coming up, it was crews and it was posses. Was it, the gang culture didn't, expedite itself to the East Coast quite yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We learned how to knuckle up.
Yeah, we fought back then.
We fought back then. Nobody pulling the straps. None of that. I mean, we heard about that, but that was like mostly older dudes pulling the straps. But we knuckled up.
Did you ever experience bullying?
I don't think I've ever experienced bullying because for me, it was more. I was like, man, you know how we roll. We deep. Walltown rolled deep very well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Shout out to Fred Tarrantine, one of my old brothers.
That's what's up.
And RIP Fred. And
that's what's up.
Man, it's just a lot of dudes we used to roll with because we all play sports, man. And when we roll somewhere, we always roll deep. So it's kind of like, it was no experience bullying, but it's always like you mess with one.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like any neighborhood crew. You mess with one, you gotta mess with all.
Going back to Walltown, I'm gonna tell you. So I never before said names publicly, but two guys who bullied me back in Walltown, three maybe. I ran into one of them most recently, and we couldn't figure out why we used to always bump heads and fight, but he won every time. John Emmons.
John Emmett.
You know what I'm saying? He used to beat me up every chance he get. He would beat me up. John, what up, homie? And we ran into each other as adults.
Right.
Ain't seen each other since, probably the 80s, 89.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we ran into each other in like 2020 something. But anyway, and we both was like, he was like, man, why we used to fight all the time? I was like, cause you try to bully me, that's why, and I won't hand that. You know what I'm saying? But he used to win every single time.
I kept fighting though.
Oh yeah. See, on
that's
site.
The whole thing. On site.
On site.
But that's what it is. Though.
On site.
You ain't put like this. Everybody ain't gonna win every fight.
That's right.
But the thing about it, you live in the fight another day.
Right.
Unlike now.
Yeah.
So, but that's how we work.
Right.
And that, to me, I kind of think it made us men.
Right.
Because it let us know how life was gonna be.
Yeah. Tough.
Life is tough.
Yeah.
And that's what I said, we were raised that way.
Yeah. You international business. Yeah, I tell people this. I didn't learn, even though I played ball in Europe, international play. And I didn't understand the business side of things, which is sports law, especially from an international standpoint.
No doubt.
You see what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So a lot of people don't understand that the business side of things come into play also. Mm-hmm. So when I seen that you majored in international business, I was like, man, this brother here been busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And that's I was studying fitness, kinesiology. You know what I'm saying? How the body moves.
Yeah.
But in college, and you study in international business, like you said, logistics and things like that. I don't know statistical facts. Like how many of us get into international business. That's why I was wanting you to shed some knowledge on it. And your experiences.
Okay.
And being, a Durham native, mayor runner up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mayor runner up. You got some wisdom upstairs in their head and some experience upstairs in their head.
Yeah.
So whatever you're comfortable with sharing with us, why do you, the way Durham is now as far as like where the violence is at, right? The demographics.
Yeah.
Right? How do you feel about Durham right now and our energy right now as far as the gang violence?
Now, let me just go back and say this. Am I super excited about the things that are going on downtown? Yeah. I like new things. I like change. I do like what they've done downtown. However, I do wish that everybody played a part in the revitalization, as they used to call it. And when we were having those meetings, when it was coming, and I was like, wow, all this stuff is about to change, right? And that's right about the time I was running in 2009.
Okay.
when I ran for mayor.
Okay.
And you know, shout out to Bill Bell. He's a good friend of mine. Definitely a good mentor. Still good friends to this day.
That's what's up.
And I basically was like, look, this is not right. You have people here who basically wanted you have been a part of Durham, you know, whether they rent it or not, and they need to be able to play a part in what's happening to their community, right? So it just didn't happen that way, and when I saw it, you know, just changing the way it changed, I was kind of like, I told people then, I said, what you see right now in Durham downtown at that time, I say, not even 10 years, you won't be able to afford anything. I said, everything in a 3-mile radius of the center of downtown is going to be revitalized, and you won't be a part of it.
Right.
Because then I was disappointed that people were voting, you know, the way they voted was totally different. Durham's political structure is totally different the way people vote.
Is it like what facet?
Basically, then they were voting. If somebody or if the incumbent said, "Hey, vote for me," I'll make sure I put this in when I get back in office. You know, making promises and things of that nature.
Gotcha.
But my whole thing was, why are you accepting crumbs off the table when what I'm offering you is not only a seat at the table, but I'm offering you a full meal?
Right.
Because for me, I'm not sitting at the table by myself. When I get in, I'm putting everybody on the table because this is pretty much our city.
Right.
We were all raised here, born and raised, and I want everybody to play a part in the revitalization of it. I mean, we knew change had to come.
Right.
You know, it can't be complacent. Change has to come.
I agree.
But the thing about it is that you let everybody play a part in it.
Right.
And that way, people can't come back and be upset that they didn't have a voice.
Right.
Our voice was silenced when this came, and I say that to this day. Now, granted, I still like everything that's changed, but our voices were silenced, and that pretty much messed up a lot of people when those factories closed up in '86, and it just, you thought the drug thing was bad then.
Yeah.
We're still reeling from 1986. We're still in the days.
Just reading about the history of Durham, you know, and they always say history repeats itself. Some people don't learn from history and those who came before us.
No.
And it's said, you know what I'm saying, only fools reject knowledge, which is true. Which is true. They do.
Right.
So, you know, but factually speaking, and historically speaking, the city of Hayti, right? The Hayti flourishing the way it was.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They came in through 147, right slap dead in the middle.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you know, that caused, a split and a divide. And economically.
They lied. That's a big, let's take be honest. Yeah. Basically, the black community was supposed to get storefront property downtown, which is Pear Street. Right. They were supposed to, because basically the highway basically ran right into Pear Street. It was being drawn and during that time. So basically, we were supposed to have front street property. So whenever the business council voted to let them put the 147 through. Basically, when they got finished and they went downtown, and business owners went downtown to look at their, supposed shops. Right. Your shops are in the alley, away from the frontage of the street. Wow. So it's like all those lies that happened, and that's why you see Austin Avenue still looks like it looks now because of those lies. I mean, if you really look at it. Fayetteville Road, what it looks like, what's up? Shout out to Phoenix Square, shout out to the Hesters.
That's what's up.
That basically was Hayti. And that marker, and I still say this today, and I'm just going to openly say it, the marker that's on Parish Street, that marker needs to be right there where Hayti Heritage Center is in Phoenix Square.
That's right. That's right.
That's where Hayti was. To have that downtown, it's a thorn in every person that was raised in Durham's back, and it's a disgrace in a way.
Right.
I understand what they were trying to do and to celebrate the history and things of that nature, which was a great thing. But I do believe in context, historically, we have to make it right. So that sign needs to be put back where it needs to be, which is in, right there in Phoenix Square where the Hayti Heritage Center is.
Right.
Because that was it. That was Hayti.
Yeah.
We used to call 10 City.
10 City.
Yeah. So that was a whole economic system, man. That was our Black Wall Street.
Right. It's only two of those. A lot of people don't know it, but it's only two of those in the world, really. Let's just say over here in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah,
let's say in the Western Hemisphere over here where we at. Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And Durham, North Carolina.
No doubt. People were raising their kids off trades, funeral homes, teaching their kids how to do funeral homes, brick masons. Let me keep going on. It was every trade there was.
Right.
Our family owned it, and they were teaching their younger generations how to come up in it. We had our own economic system. We bought, bartered, had food. We had our own grocery stores. I mean, it was a Black economic system, man.
Yeah.
We had our own dollars.
Now, as we're just people first. We're just human first. We're, boys that became men, athletes second.
Right.
But I know me, personally, I've always tried to study and try to collect as much information, I can consume. And I try to keep up with current events, and I love to study history. I'm always looking for. I got a lot of questions, and only way you get your answers is to put your mind inside books,
right?
And to read. So I read books that they tell us not to read, and then I read books that tell us to read. And then that's when I start putting pieces to the puzzle together.
Right.
So I'm not insensitive to the social dilemmas I see going on globally. And it's heartbreaking when we watch the news. North, east, west, south. It's hard watching, and you got to know how the differentiate what's truth and what's fiction in the news, because everything we see in the news, it ain't nothing but just propaganda, but some of it is true.
Right.
But the way people treat people nowadays, man, is it's like there's no regard for life. You know what I mean? And a lot of it could start at home.
Right.
So many broken homes due to we're all just products of our environment. And our communities. A lot of things I was exposed to in Walltown, growing up in Walltown, which is the first neighborhood we lived, second neighborhood that we lived in. My mom's moved to Walltown around 82.
82, yeah.
And we was coming from our 15501. Back then it was called Garrett Square, I believe.
Yeah.
So, growing up in Walltown, playing with you guys out there on them basketball courts out there at the Walltown Park, bro, I didn't even know back then that got me prepared to play, college.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then international, you know what I mean?
Right.
I took Durham. Durham is in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I love Durham, love the people of Durham. What does Durham mean to you?
Man, look, everybody always says, I see a lot of people always throwing up the Bull City sign.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But when for me, it's here for me. Um, when I was running for mayor, I was running to really, you know, I was running for me because this is something personal that I wanted to do, but it was more or less like I was taking the community on my back.
Right.
Um, I love this city, man.
Right.
I mean, literally, I love this city. And there is nothing, and I wouldn't do. I mean, I'm the longest ever serving chair of the Workforce Development Board.
Okay.
I served from 2010 to 2021. My son was born in 2010.
2010.
And when I got off the board in 21, he was 11.
Okay.
So all that time, man, I was serving, and I served at, job.
Yeah.
I was meetings, putting things in the city. I did the first ever adjudicated individual job fair.
Okay.
We had about 600 applicants to sign up online, and we had 1,200 people to show up the day of the event. That was the biggest job fair for adjudicated individuals, basically people who had served their time, they were off probation. And
man, that's big.
We had companies, man, that came, and shout out to all the companies. I can't remember all of them, but that showed up. We did have some disappointing companies that, but those companies said, we had them color coded. And these are the companies that will accept certain things in their background.
Okay.
And people would, some people were able to get jobs that day. Some weren't. There were long lines. I was mildly happy, but I was happy that we had it. But at the end of the day, I felt like I was doing that for the community because I know there are a lot of people that I grew up with that needed these jobs, man.
Right.
And see, for me, anything about this city is more or less like I'm doing it because I don't care who you are. I probably know your mother. I probably know your brother, your cousin. I know somebody in your family.
Right.
And people were reaching out to me. I never get people reaching out to me online like, hey, my cousin about to come home, man, looking for stuff. And I said, look, when they come home, hit me up. Now, some dudes I won't shout out, but you know who you are before they even came home. And they, I was hitting them up.
That's
like, they had Facebook. It was crazy. They had Facebook accounts in jail.
That's what's up. Yeah.
So I was hitting them up. Like, look, I know you're about to come home, but here's some things that you need to think about when you hit touchdown.
Right.
You need any help? The number's out there. Reach out to them. And that was just basically because you had to reacclimate them.
Right.
Back into society. Some of them been locked up for years.
Right.
And, I wanted to make sure that, they weren't forgotten.
Right.
I mean, they did their time. They did whatever they had to do. They did their time. And now, okay, all right, take a deep breath, breathe that out. Now it's time to get back on the road and get this job and be a productive part of this community.
I spent, I don't know if you know, but I spent time in prison back in the 90s. And looking back on it, it was where I deserved to be. It was necessary, and that world, being inside the belly of the beast like that world, I learned a lot.
Right.
You got to think it doesn't stop. You're in there with, convicted, criminals for whatever they're in there for. You're never safe.
No.
So I guess that's part of my personality too, that learning from that and there, like, I don't have a false sense of security.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And, I guess it is a part of me that's kind of like a walking, ticking bomb or something, because I stay loose. I'm ready to go any moment. I learned that being on a prison yard. You see what I'm saying? Like, no shank, no none of that. It's just, I'm going to let the left and the right, I'm going to let it dance. Period.
Right.
So, I'm comfortable with it. How do you feel about prison itself and the system?
Oh, the system sucks. I mean, the system sucks. I mean,
Tell
let
me.
me go get the system sucks ass. Basically, it's set up for us to get in there, and that was my thing, man.
Mm.
That's one thing I wanted to curb is people going to prison. I used to go to school. I mean, go to kids' schools, have these tough conversations. My fraternity, we sponsor a thing called Brother to Brother.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to different schools, elementary. We start in elementary schools,
Mm-hmm.
and we tell them what it is, and we build character traits up in them, and we talk to them because we feel that if we start early by planting those seeds,
Right.
it'll grow in them, man. And but I think now it's to a point where you have kids, and it's a program that I want to start that. I'm gonna try to bring it up to the school board, and because there's a lot of dudes out there that I grew up with, and what they want to do is they basically want to tell their story. They
Right.
dying to tell their story because they want to stop other kids from living the life they
Right.
live. And these guys, man, they did some serious time for some serious things, and it's a good program. I already see where it is and where Durham is right now.
Yeah.
I think the main thing is that when you have officials, and let me just be clear, and when I say officials, I'm talking about city councilmen, I'm talking about county commission, and I've already said this. I used to say this all the time in the campaign. If you believe that helping the city and helping the youth is pushing legislation in the office and not getting out to the communities, it's not going to work. I'm saying this to the new city councilman. If you believe that basically putting legislation and voting on things in City Hall will help these communities without you being there in those communities doing the work,
Right.
let me be clear to you, it will not work.
It will not work.
You're basically putting paint over a dirty wall.
Wow.
If you're not willing to roll your sleeves up, your time in your seat will probably be short.
Yeah.
Not only that, you need to understand something. It's not what you do when the cameras are on.
Right.
It's what you do when they're off.
We're off. Right.
And I pride myself in being a boy in the hood. I mean, just raised in the hood. Well, I can go into any neighborhood. Doesn't matter after 6:30 at night.
That's
Now,
right.
I challenge anybody in that city council or even that county commission. Can anybody do that?
Right.
I guarantee you the answer will be no. I can almost guarantee you that some people say, oh yeah, I can go there, I can go there. Yeah, but you go there with cameras, dude.
Yeah.
When I was running for mayor and I had it was me, probably a couple of homeboys, and my Italian master. Shout out to Jay, rest in peace.
That's what's
I
up.
had an Italian master. She was 136 pounds. I used to take her with me when I went to certain neighborhoods.
Right.
Mainly because one, I hadn't walked her all day, so that was my exercise walking. And we're going
I bet.
when I was campaigning.
I
Yeah.
bet.
Well, she was trained now. She was trained, and basically just telling them, man, it's like, look, what do you need?
Right.
What do you want to see? Because my thing of it is that people are out on the corners not because they want to, because they have to.
Right.
And some people can't understand that, but I can.
Right.
You know,
They don't relate.
they don't relate, and then
Don't care either.
I wouldn't say they don't care. I think it's just that ignorance of not knowing what that person is going through, and that's the thing. I think that's what's missing.
Okay.
People are missing the point of if a person has grown up with no hopes. Let me just say this. Used to be at one time, Matt Gutierrez used to have like fences and all that stuff around each block.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they took some of them down, because what do you see when you go to a zoo? It's symbolism, man.
Yeah.
What do you see? You know, all this other stuff. So you kind of like Mac. You got them caged up.
Yeah.
So when you think about caged up, prison,
Right.
zoo.
Right.
So you already, you know, symbolically
Right.
doing things to these kids before they come out. And
Right.
I'm glad they took them down. but they had them up for years.
Yeah.
Like years. Um, I think in certain places, man, people are just looking for hope. You have to be in a position where you got to avail yourself of
That's
hope.
right. That's right.
Because it's sometimes be like for me, you talking about prison, man, look, my temper, you remember.
Yeah.
I used to go from 0 to 1,000.
Oh, yeah, you didn't play no games.
It was no middle ground for me. But the thing about it was that I had to learn to control that.
Right.
I mean, literally, shout out to Durham Strata, shout out to Cedric Mills, middle school coach, that just sat down and talked with me, man. Coach Blunt, when I was 5. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about all these people that, had their hands on me, man, that kind of control me. Shout out to Colonel Knowles, and college mentor. He was vice president of student affairs, and he was from Liberty City, Florida. So basically, me and him understood each other. He knew I had a hot temper.
Yeah.
My temper was still bad in college, and he had to sit me down. He was like, "Look, brother, you remind me of myself." And we had this conversation. I mean, we used to go at it, but I had to learn, man, to control a lot of stuff, man, and it was bad because I felt like, everything was being taken from me, and I had to go through some kind of withdrawal from that, man, and yeah, it was rough, man. It was times that it was certain situations where I almost ended up going to jail.
Right.
But my older brother, shout out to D again, he kept me out of a lot of stuff, man.
Dirk, who I remember Dirk used to ball.
Yeah.
I remember Dirk used to ball. Like I said, y'all guys was on the older team when we was at St. John's playing for the church league, man. So, but yeah, man, that's a what they say, that's a real spill, a lot of that I was unaware of.
Yeah. That's the first time he openly said talking about that. Man.
Yeah. A lot of time has gotten, in between us, and life had us on, different avenues, since back then.
Yeah.
Coming up in Walltown together. I remember, Marlon Branch, rest in peace, Marlon Branch. I remember Marlon.
Mm-hmm.
I think about that dude, a lot, because he'd been gone for a long time. He was a few years older than me, but Marlon was a cool dude. I remember Marlon.
Yeah.
Like a lot of you guys who was older, was cool, and I learned from you guys, and took some things from you guys. You know what I'm saying? And coming up in Walltown, we did have to be tough, and I believe it helped too that my dad, my roots are from Edenton, North Carolina, so he had a 252. Edentonians,
your dad was a cool dude.
Yeah, he my dad, I'm proud to say that he's a undefeated middleweight boxing champion for the Army.
Oh.
So he say, when he wasn't boxing, overseas internationally, his fights was at Fort Bragg. And he always tell me, when the road get tough, the tough get going. And that's, to me, that's the mindset of a fighter.
Yeah.
So, but that's what we are too.
No doubt.
So we might not get in the ring as boxers, but we're fighters,
right?
Intellectually, you know what I mean? And, so I'm thankful for that gift to have that mindset, because life is difficult.
All right.
And the processes that we went through to get us to this point has gotten us, with a tough layer,
Yeah.
And that's what's needed. If you could give a message to the youth, what would you say to the youth?
That's always a message I leave. I always used to give my kids when I had that the brother program over at when my son was at Easley, And I wanted to kind of instill that over at Carrington Middle School as well. But what I tell my kids, man, and never let them write your narrative. And they were like, and you know, these kids are on it, man. They know narrative means story.
Right.
I said, it doesn't matter where you start. You know, always remember where you start, but that's not where you can end.
Right.
You know, you can write your own story, but never let anybody else write it for you.
Right.
And I told them that, man. And I think for me, thinking about it now, that's all these kids need.
Right.
They need somebody that's going to fight for them.
Right.
Some people don't have it at home, you know.
True indeed.
And, you know, my mama wanted to fight, but she was fighting her own demons too. And it took me time to learn that, man, because I didn't understand that back then.
Yeah.
My mom was fighting some real stuff.
Yeah.
And it was more or less like understanding now as an adult, you know, 50 years old, that these kids, man, they just need somebody that was going to fight for them.
Right.
And now when I look at city council, when I look at county commission, and, you know, thinking about the possibilities for me, you know, potentially jumping back in, now that my son is of age and things of that nature, I think about right now, like, I look at any of those council members on the bench, and I look at those commissioners. Will they fight for these kids? And I ain't talking about the good ones. I'm talking, will they fight for the ones that, you know, go to jail, the ones that are on those corners?
Right.
Will they fight for them?
Fight for them.
You know, because it's easy to go fight for somebody who's already doing good.
Right.
But to go tell them straight up, I'll fight for you.
Right.
Knowing you out there doing dirt. See, for me, I see a diamond in them.
Right.
I see something better for them.
That's right.
So yeah, I will fight for them. Don't even know them.
Right.
But I'll fight for them because I know it's something good in them.
That's
and
right.
I know they probably don't have anything good.
That's right.
Reflecting in their household. So it just, for me, these kids want somebody to fight for them, man.
Right.
Because that's why they're out there acting out. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Growing up, I just want somebody to fight for me.
Right. Yeah. You know, Turnaround Podcast, man, what we set out to do is to try to set the president and a standard, you know, and try to reach the youth.
Right.
And if we can help them to say, don't walk down this road right here, but rather yet walk down this road right here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because sometimes we can make mistakes that will make our life even harder or more difficult than what it has to be.
No doubt.
You see what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So,
right.
You know, that's what the turnaround stands for, man. It's a warning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we like to try to be, you know, as factual as possible and as real as possible, man. You know, we love life, we live in life. So, you know, we just 4 days from Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
You know, finna go into the year 2024.
2023 was a
you know, so this is not a pleasant time of the year for everybody.
No.
You know, so let's, you know, like I said, I'm not insensitive. You know, so to those people that's going through things, you know, hardships never last. So, you know, we got to mentally stay strong. And if you ain't mentally strong, find a way to mentally get strong and stay mentally strong. And, you know, because it ain't easy for none of us.
No.
You know?
No.
You know, Steve, bruh, you know, like I said, I can't thank you enough, you know, for, you know, taking time out your day, man, to come, you know, sit down with us and chop it up with us.
Man, look.
And we'll do it again.
We got to do it again.
you know what I'm saying, we'll do it
again.
again, you know, because it's a lot that we can get into.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But this was just to, you know, break the ice a little bit.
No doubt.
You know, let things take some shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, it's super great, man. Just to, like I said, man, have you come by, and you know, my man.
Yeah, man.
You know,
man, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
I
man.
Appreciate you,
so,
seriously.
You know, is there anything? How can people get? How can people get? In touch with you, or you got?
I got IGs.
Yeah, let the people know how they can reach out to you, man.
My handle on IG is it's kind of weird, but I like it. It's impossible lower hyphen impossible. It's I'm possible.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it's spelled the same, but it's just the same thing. It's impossible equals I'm possible.
Okay.
So I always say that to kids. So if it's impossible, that means I'm possible.
Right.
So that's that's my little metaphor thing. Wordplay.
Okay.
And that's my IG. Facebook, just Stephen Williams.
Okay.
And that's it. Those are my main two things. I ain't over everywhere. A lot of places I
know,
want to be. It's too much, man.
It's too much. Yeah.
It's like at this point, if I decide to get back in politics, then I'll just let my campaign deal with all social media. But those are the main two I hit.
Okay.
But a lot of people didn't know I was still in Durham. I'm still here. My wife and I, we got a nice house out here in Northern Durham. We enjoying ourselves out here. We like our trees.
That's what's up.
We love it. And, we just like our community. I think for the main reason is that we are a family.
Okay.
That's why we both are still here in Durham, because of our families.
That's what's up.
And at the end of the day, we just want everybody to have that same feeling.
Right.
And like I said before, man, thank you. I appreciate it, and I definitely want to come back.
Can't appreciate you enough, man. Anything else you would like to say to the people of the Bull City and outside the Bull City who may be taking time? We appreciate everybody who be checking out the turnaround. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate the love, the messages. We appreciate that. Talib Jasir, we appreciate that. We appreciate everybody that's been supporting and sharing the turnaround. But is there anything you want to say to those outside of Durham, along with Bull City, that may be listening, man? Is there anything else that you like to say?
No, man. Well, let me tell you. Shout out to Bull City Kappas, Durham alumni. Yo, you know what it is. Shout out to my undergrad chapter, Gamma Omicron in Raleigh, St. All. Shout out to them. But more or less like Bull City, I love all of y'all. Y'all know I do.
We love y'all, Durham.
Yeah, so we've been here. We're still here. Y'all still hit me up on Instagram. When your kids are graduating, I still, put it, sometimes people shoot out, say, hey, my kid graduating, he got his little GoFundMe. I might do it anonymously, or I might just give it and leave my name up. But y'all keep doing your thing, man, and keep putting those pictures out there, raising your kids, because for us, that's what it's about. It's time for the men to come back and stand beside their women and raise the kids, man. It's important. Whether you with them in a relationship or not, stand beside these women, man, because they've been carrying us for years. I got this picture on my phone, man, and I posted it on Facebook. I called them people always say, well, one woman can't raise a man. Well, 5 women raised this man. Mm-hmm. And I posted it on my Facebook page, and people are liking that. I said, but those are the women that, good or bad, raised me.
Right.
And I wouldn't be anywhere near who I am right now without those women.
No doubt. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Those black women. Yeah. Those strong black women.
The queen protects the king.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So, that's what's up. Yo, Mac, I know we probably, boiling down on time, but again, one last thing out there, everybody, man. I just want to say, man, let's get healthy and stay healthy. And let's keep being innovative. And, I can't appreciate everybody enough for checking out the Turnaround Podcast, and we got some exciting things coming in 2024. So put your seatbelts on, because it's going to be a bumpy ride in a good way. So, you know what I'm saying?
I like
Yo,
that.
we're gonna hit them in the head. We're gonna sock them in the head. I don't know if everybody gonna be ready, but we're gonna sock them in the head in 2024.
Yeah.
So I know everybody don't celebrate the holidays. And you got people who do celebrate the holidays. So however you do it, just exercise safety. I know I am. So and to all my ball players out there, keep balling. To all the athletes out there, ball till you fall. Athletes, man, you know what I'm saying? We
Stand
athletes,
up.
baby.
Stand up.
So Durham, we love y'all. Edenton, what up? Love y'all. We'll be back real soon.